On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Houston Texans. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Will give this one to Eckler. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Well, this defense for the Texans, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Running on first down, Eckler. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So they decline it as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
On fourth down, Herbert. And Allen's got it. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on fourth down. Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the fourth down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game planned for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game planned for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there.
Once more, here's Eckler. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've had the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. This is caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are on the board first here this afternoon. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Chargers 7, Texans nothing. Justin Hopkins taking on
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all. Not something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs or putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Mills. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Mills to throw for it on 4th. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
39 yards there, a big one.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. A give, Eckler running to the right. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll find Everett there, complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Up the middle with Eckler. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Herbert, that's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 13-yard line. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Eckler now between the tackles. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now Herbert off the bootleg. It's caught by his running back, Austin Eckler. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
That's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker. From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. Flush to his right. Oh, you
He saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. And the Texans are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep. And that is going to be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got it to Williams. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. On 1st down, Justin Herbert. That's into the hands of Eckler. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Draw play. It's Eckler. He's got it to the 43 here.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you got the defense back on its heels.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Herbert now. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 21. Now it's Herbert. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Jalen Guyton, his 1st touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead.
Texans, nothing. Justin Hopkins picking off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action now. Mills. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Mills. And is here as he's taken down. Kenneth Murray in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Well, this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Another try after the first down sack. Mills. And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders, it's not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Justin Hopkins, the kickoff for the Chargers.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Play action. It's Herbert out to his left. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mills now. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. Here comes Carter. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
On play action, Mills.
On the move to his left. He's letting it fly for Cooks.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
Final play of the half, Mills.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half.
This fielded right at the goal line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And now here's another interception.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tanner Muse came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack on first down, Herbert. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The sack there by Rasheem Green. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Desmond King picks it. And the Texans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder...
And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 33. The Charger drive about to get going. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
3rd and long, it's Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 1st and 10, Mills. Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think
and now here is another interception. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
2nd and 10. Thanks for tagging along with us here from Houston, Texas.
Here's Herbert. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. From the 50, here's Herbert. Trying to lay one up deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Eckler going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. It's Eckler again, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Austin Eckler, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Chargers are an extra point away from going up by 30.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Justin Hopkins will kick off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Mills on first down.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
The Charger drive about to get going. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
From the 38, Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Complete to Austin Eckler. A 5-yard gain on the play. First down.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Got an open man, it's Josh Palmer.
And he will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the give, this is Eckler. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And now here is another interception.
And the Texans are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back early in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. 36 yards on the play. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Looking to throw is Mills. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Let's go. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Mills.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Again, it's Mills.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
The 71 yards on the ground for Eckler here. That's a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On first down, it's Herbert. Open man is Palmer. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Herbert off of play action. Rolling to his left. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw here, Herbert. And it's caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
To throw again on second down.
Mills. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
To throw, Mills. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the fourth quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort, really well executed. Congratulations to them.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
A fairly short kick from the 14.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this...
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just locked. And now here is another interception.
And the Texans are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tied game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Mills.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
And the Chargers are going to get the football here at their own 23.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They're going to pass here with Herbert. Steps away. And now here is another interception. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Mills to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
A 51-yard attempt.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try.
This one from 46 yards out. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Chargers, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.